Okay, so we found this old Exoterra in the garage, and it has about perfect size for the crocodile skinks. So looks like, I don't know, 24 by 18 by 12 or so. And so we're gonna go ahead and make this a new crocodile skink enclosure. The back glass was broken on it, unfortunately. And since we're gonna have to reseal everything anyways, since I want to make the front part water, and then land in the back, and it'll all be bioactive and dirt and plants and whatnot. So I went ahead and I found an old piece of plexiglass in the garage, and I cut out a piece for the back and fit it in there. So I'm just gonna have to silicone that up, and I cut another chunk off. And this is going to be our little dam for the water and separate the water and the land. This will all be dirt back here, and this will be the water part. I'm going to just had some scrap wood from another little project to brace that, so I can go ahead and silicone this all up to hold water. And we're going to put some, I'm not silicone some sand or something on here so it's a nice abrasive texture for them to be able to climb easily in and out of the water. So that's our project today. I'm going to go ahead and glue this up, seal it up, and then move on to the next step. Okay, so here's where we're at. I know it's ugly right now. We're under kind of a lockdown, so hardware stores are closed and stuff. And the tube of silicone I had was dried out, and I found this 5200. It's a marine sealant, but the tip was drying out, so I had to cut a hole in the caulking tube and do this all by finger with my fingers. And it's going to be covered up for the most part, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, not ideal. But anyways, so we got our little dam beach set up. But this is all kind of an experiment. I've never done it before, but I wanted to give this texture for the crocodile skink so they can easily walk up and down it, and have traction. So I was thinking I'm gonna spread some of this Gorilla Glue, this expanding glue, just a real thin coat over this whole thing, and then sprinkle sand on it, and hopefully it's like crushed coral I have from an old saltwater tank. So that's the plan. So we're just going to do a thin coat of the Gorilla Glue on here and cover it in sand, and we'll see how it turns out. This is all kind of an experiment, but something to do when there's not a lot else to do. So we're just spreading a thin layer of this Gorilla Glue. We're going to cover this whole thing and kind of just, it expands, so we don't want it to expand a little, but we want it to have texture. And then I'll mist it with the water to light misting that kind of sets it and gets it starting to set. And then we'll sprinkle the sand all over it, and hopefully it sticks. Even if not, this will be the Gorilla Glue expanding will be texture in itself. So I just want to make it real easy for the crocodile skinks to be able to crawl in and out of here. And there's going to be some sand in here, so it's not really going to even be that deep. It's going to be planted, and there'll be a lot, other ways for them to climb in and out. But just want to give it a beach look and make sure it's not a slippery slope for them. It seems to be working. The sand's sticking very well to this glue, and it's already starting to expand a little bit, which is giving it a natural texture. So far, really happy with how this is working for being an experiment. Okay, so it's been a couple days now, and I've let everything dry, and really stoked on how this little beach came out. It looks really good. The sand stuck to it really well. It's got all kinds of texture and little bumps. Oh, how easy it is to see from here. But so yeah, came out really good. I went ahead, I put some water in it, doing a little water test on it. Looks like we're holding water good. So very happy with that, and we're gonna go ahead and move forward. We've had those little blocks that I had for supporting it. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave them under there. Just turn them the other way and wedge them under there, just so this thing has support when it's got a lot of water on there. But I'm gonna go ahead and just lay a layer of charcoal on here, and then organic soil. I'll mix with some peat moss and some leaf litter, and go ahead and I'll add some springtails and the little buffalo beetles, and probably I'll do some super worms in there and get a nice good bioactive base going. I'm gonna go ahead and put some plants in there. I'm gonna put some plants in the water too, I believe. Put some rocks in the bottom and add a little filter to it. So that's the plan with this deal for the crocodile skinks. Okay, we just laid down a thin layer of charcoal. We have our sphagnum moss. We have some little smooth river stones, small ones for the bottom, and we have some garden soil. And here is the hard lumpwood charcoal that we use, all natural. And I found a little pump. I'm gonna go ahead and put in that corner. And I have a little fish bowl I've been using to raise the tadpoles from the reed frogs, and it's got some live plants growing in there, pothos and some money plant that I took from the pond. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in here once we get it up and going, and getting this thing together quick. All right. So and this is the little fish bowl that I was raising I raised in some tadpoles up from our reed frogs in here, little babies, and I put them in the little windowsill right here so I could watch them develop and whatnot. But these plants actually flourish really well. I got some money plants from the pond, and then I just put a little potho clipping in there, and it's done real well. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out and put them in the water of the new one we're putting together here for the crocodile skinks. We found a little pump here. We have installed that. Got the rocks in there, so we're looking good. Put some dirt in. Leaving a little room. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the dirt from the cage there and for the top layer, since it's already really loaded with springtails and stuff. And so I'm gonna hold off on doing that until I figure out what plants I'm gonna put in here and get it planted first, and then finish that decoration part up. But yeah, coming along well, looking good, liking it. Have to figure out what kind of lights we're gonna do. But found some other little goodies I had laying around, so to decorate with. So chipping away here. Okay, here we are. We basically robbed and pillaged. Here's the plants that were from the fish bowl. These two, and then this, I'm not sure what it is, but it grows like crazy out by the edge of the pond. I've never really tried putting it in an enclosure, so we'll see. This plant I pulled, it was in the chameleon's cage. It was totally being overgrown and overshadowed, so pulled that out, and then took another clipping from the monitor's enclosure. Grabbed a little piece of fern from outside. I don't know, I haven't had great luck with these inside, but for whatever reason, but threw it in here, what the heck. We're gonna have a good plant light on here. It kind of makes the look funky filming, but took this plant light off the morning gecko cage in the front where it had two lights on it, so I'm gonna borrow this one until I can pick up another one for this enclosure. So yeah, we're coming together here. I'm gonna go ahead and move these crocodiles in here sooner than I thought, since this is coming together so fast. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put them in a little bin, and then take their dirt, because it's already bioactive and set up and full of bugs and sphagnum moss and stuff. I'm going to take that from their enclosure and put it over the top of this along with their cork hides. There's several cork hides in there and cork flats and things. So I will include those in this enclosure, as well as a couple new items I found that may or may not go in there. So yeah, we'll just use that other dirt and put it over top of this and drop in the new decorations, and we are rolling. I'm gonna add some bigger stones or shells in this water too, just so I wanted to have it deep enough so I could run the pump and for the plants to grow, but I don't want it too deep for the crocodile skink. So like I did over here, I added a bunch of small gravel from that fishbowl over the roots of this money plant, so hopefully that has some nutrients for it to get started. And I dumped quite a bit of the water from that fishbowl as well that has algae and stuff already going in it, so just to give this a little jump start and give these plants something to feed off of. I also use some of that water to spray this the dirt, and so these plants have nice nutrient-rich dirt to start with. Alright, so hopefully that works. I don't have the greatest luck with plants, but it seems like if we get the right lighting and put the effort in, they seem to grow. So we're doing that this time. Alright, so I'll go ahead and put that dirt in and the rest of these decorations, and then we'll be putting the little guys in. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and put the last little of their hides in and go ahead and put these little guys in. We moved their dirt in from their previous enclosure, so just kind of figure out where we want to put these things. Hey, okay, here's the older one. Hey, I play dead, but then they'll all of a sudden take off really quick. Look at that crocodile body, it's so cool. Such neat little guys. But it'd be nice to have them where we could see the enclosure a little better instead of having the tub. We couldn't really, without taking the lid off and disturbing them, check them out. But they seem to be doing really good. They're eating well. Food's always disappearing from the bowl. I see them in the water, usually early in the morning, and they definitely seem to be growing, and they're always thick when I see them, so I think they're ready to move on up. Plenty of places to hide in here. Okay, little guy. I think this was the girl, if I remember correctly. Hey. Welcome to your new pad. See ya. Right underneath. Already bugs. Hey, how you doing? You okay? He's gripped on really tight. Well, yeah, this came together really quick. Really happy with it. I wish we're in a lockdown right now, so there's no florists open or anything. I don't think so. Just had to make do with the plants. So that I'm sure we'll end up having to adjust. I would like to add some moss in here or something, but I'm sure we'll add some more plants. But for now, we'll see how this goes, and hopefully they enjoy it. Nice bigger home for them. I cut a piece of that plexiglass that I used to make the dam for the lid, so I can just, for humidity, cover up the screen. The next thing was the lighting, and basically what is available right now with everything being shut down and mail order, I wasn't sure about. And well, I'm sure we'll eventually get an Arcadia for this, but we've had good luck with these grow lights from Walmart. I think I paid $16, $17 for this thing. I have one on a pellidarium in the front room, and it works great for the plants, which is what we need here. And so we went ahead and got one of those. it comes with these little little metal hangers. It's meant for hanging. It doesn't have anything for setting on top of enclosure, in which it just kind of lays there. So I had a 1-inch strip, or whatever this is, 1-inch strip of this plexiglass left over. So I cut some notches out of it to go ahead and make a little stand for it, and then notched out a piece to fit in there just to hold it. So there we go, a little makeshift light holder, and looking good. So very cool. Gonna have to clean it up, but new home for these guys. A little more room, something we can observe them better in, and hopefully they like it. All right, thanks for watching. Till next time, people.